Well, howdy, y'all. And it looks like we have quite a bit of people waiting already, and we have a Sean Hufford over there in the corner. Hello, Sean.
Hello.
Yes, we have Cheese Mondo and a Jed Cleaver, and there's a Dick Dawson there. Gotta have the Dick in there. You look amused. All right.
Honey.
I know, right? All right. So I do want to thank everybody for showing up. I know this was very last minute. I just scheduled it about 20 minutes ago. But this was a conversation that needs to be had. There are some interesting tweets being posted around the internet about me, and I need to clear up some air regarding those. So, unfortunately, there are tweets by a certain Psy niece, which is Psy Strike's niece. And in it, she and Andy DeWitt and also a few others, but those were the main two, have been commenting that I hijacked the Science Strike Force channel and that I'm swindling people out of money, I'm milking people for money, and that I'm using it as my own personal cash cow. And I'm using it for a ready-made audience for my personal channel. So I want to address a few of these claims because they're not true. And there's been a lot of falsehoods out there, and I do want to just address them. I've stayed quiet for quite a while on this. This has been going on, actually. Targeted harassment and just awful things being said about me for about almost a year now. It all started shortly after Psy Strike passed, unfortunately. So I do want to just kind of go over some of the claims and be transparent with you all. I took over the Psy Strike or Science Strike Force movie night after Psy passed. But first, I had a meeting with a majority of the panel members from Science Strike Force that were already a part of it because I wanted to get with them and get their ideas and their thoughts on continuing the channel. We talked about it and we decided that, yeah, absolutely, it's a good idea for me to continue it and to have everybody involved that wants to be involved. And that is what we did. I apologize if my running of Science Strike Force is not up to certain people's standards. I am not Psy. I will never be Psy. And nobody can ever replace him, and I will never try to replace him. So things are different now. Things are not the way they were when he was here, and I do apologize for that to some people. With that being said, there's some more things being passed around about, my swindling people out of money or milking people for money. Those are some of the terms that were used. And I don't think people are entirely clear on what it is I have income-wise from Science Strike Force. Now, I work a full-time job at the moment. I only have one full-time job. I work, 40 hours a week. And I don't have a whole lot of free time when I'm home, but when I do, I either play games or I make videos, whatever it might be. As you've seen, my channel is quite a variety channel. I put out, everything from interviews to gaming to photography tutorials, and I don't have a lot of time for that. But when I do get some free time, I do like to spend my time doing that. With that being said, I don't like I said, I don't think people understand or maybe know what it is that I bring in income wise from the Science Strike Force channel. So I made a video. I was going to just premiere it, but I decided to be able to take any questions from the live chat and that sort of thing. It would be best to do this live and then play the video that I made. So I do have that up here. Sean is just here in case he wanted to interject any thoughts on the matter as he's been heavily
Oh,
involved in
oh,
it.
there will be interjections. So there'll be later.
Yes. All right, so let me switch over to the video here and then I can start it up. Here we go. Well, howdy, y'all, and welcome back. Today I want to go over some things that were brought up about the way that I've been running the Psy Strike channel and movie night since Psy's untimely passing last year. After he passed, I had a meeting, not too long after he passed, with a majority of the panel members, that decided they wanted to do it, decided that we would continue movie night,
I've been through
and
this.
that's fine. I had talked with a few people about the Simple Science channel. That channel I wasn't touching. I didn't want to make any videos on it, but it also wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't going away. I don't know science very well, and I don't have any kind of ideas or anything like that for videos on that channel. So until somebody had some kind of good ideas or something like that, it was better to leave that channel alone, which we've done. Since then, there's been some comments going around that
And I do want to just mention that the Simple Science channel has not been forgotten. I have been talking to people in the community to try to get that back up and running, to make science videos for, a variety of ages and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't have any science background, so I need the community's help to run that channel, to make videos the way that Cy did and the way that he would want it to continue.
I am only using the SciStrike channel for my personal cash cow and to have a ready-made audience for my gaming channel. So, as most of you are aware, I have my personal YouTube channel, SciStrikeling, where I do play video games. I also do other sorts of videos like interviews and photography tutorials, a whole bunch of random stuff. It really is a variety channel. On that channel, during my gaming live streams, I don't average that many views. So the ready-made audience for my gaming channel is definitely not true and not something that's coming to fruition by any means. Let's take a look here. So these are the view counts for my latest gaming live streams. And these live streams have been up now for a couple days, some of them. And I have 27 views, 23 views, 38 views. I have on the first part, I have 43 views. So this ready-made audience is definitely not doing anything to bolster my views. Going into that, there was also the personal cash cow aspect of it. I don't know what people think I make from Science Strike Force. I don't know what anybody thinks my income every month from that specifically is. So I want to be very transparent about it. So let me show you what it is I make from these things. So first of all, we have Patreon. So for the last couple of months, this is the income from Patreon. So the pledges from Patreon every month vary, and that depends on if people pledge that month or they're unable, they can pause their membership that month, whatever it might be. So the amounts every month from Patreon do change. Now, I'm just going back to January for everything. From January until now, that's 9 months. And with that, I do want to point out that after Cy passed, I closed down his original Patreon, the SciStrike Patreon, because I was afraid that if anybody had pledged and maybe forgot that they had pledged or just didn't think about it after he had passed, that they would continue to pledge without knowing that they were giving that money every month to me instead of him. So I closed down his Patreon and I made a new one and made it fully transparent to anybody who wanted to pledge every month that that's what it was, and some people did. There's not nearly as many Patreons as on the SciStrike Patreon, and that's fine. It was never about having all these Patreons. I could have just left his open with, twice the amount of Patreons, but I didn't. I closed it down because I didn't want anybody to pledge under false pretenses. So these are the pledges every month. Let's bring up the calculator and add them up while we're at it. So we have 5756 plus 6609 plus 6577 65. Whoops. Hold on.
I like that you left that error in there.
I guess pluses aren't working. All right, 6609 plus, there we go. 65.
An accident.
77 plus 65. 67 plus 69, 82 plus 69, 82
69.
plus 61, 40 plus 62, 17. We're almost there. And 53, 87. Alrighty.
So, 9 months of Patreon pledges. We're at 572.17. Okay. So let's take a look at the next one, and we'll leave the calculator up so we can see all these running totals. I'm just going to hide it in the background, but it's still there. So next we have Google. Now, the Google payments are going to be from Super Chats and then memberships as well, once memberships were activated. So I've gotten, so far, from January 1st through September 8th, these are the payments from Google. So again, let's add them up, right? Might as well. So we'll go back to here. We're going to clear, but it stays here at the top. And we have 194.06 plus 164.07 and 119.35 and one more. We have 187.15. All right, 9 months of Google payments. We're up to 664.63 for that. All right. And we'll hide that. Oops, not that yet. Oh, that was already. And lastly, we have any income from Teespring. From Teespring, I've had 2 payouts. They go by payouts. And we'll add those up as well. Let me bring back up the calculator. There we go. And let's see. Let me see if I can make this any bigger so you can see it a little better. There we go. All right. So our payouts for Teespring, 28.30 plus 23. All right. So yeah, I just want to pause real quick. We had a couple people that are joining late and may not know what we're discussing. And no, Sarcastic Barman, I don't have a number pad on my keyboard. Unfortunately, I was doing it on my laptop and I didn't. It has a small keyboard because it's a 13-inch laptop. So, Pie Parrot, hello, good to see you. We are discussing some things that have been said about me on Twitter over the last almost year now, culminating in this, which is that I am using the Science Strike Force channel, running Movie Night, as my own personal cash cow, and to have a ready-made audience for my personal channel, the Sci Strikeling channel. There's been a lot more than that over the last year, but this is kind of the culmination of things and the current misconceptions being spread around. So we'll continue. 20. Alrighty, $51.05 over the last 9 months from Teespring. All right, so that's the income from Science Strike Force. So let's add them up. We have 51.5, we have 664.63 plus 572.17. That's 1288.30 for 9 months. All right, so let's take a look at payments going out, because there's some things that I have to pay for the Science Strike Force channel. Okay, so let's take a look at the payments going out, the things that are needed to keep Science Strike Force and Movie Night going. And we'll subtract those from the last 9 months on our calculator. So this one that's up here, this is GoDaddy.com. And this is for the domain name that Sci had registered and to keep all of that stuff alive. Because it would be a shame if that domain was lost. So these are the payments that I've made this year for that. There was a payment of $359.76 back in March that got processed because I didn't realize that that was going to happen. And I called GoDaddy and they were very understanding about the whole thing. I had switched the renewals over to my form of payment because it was no longer coming out of Jeff's account. And so yeah, that got paid accidentally and I called and they were able to refund it. So that's why you see here there's the charge of $359.76 and then the refund. So let's subtract or add them up and then we can subtract them after. So $199 plus $199 plus $30.15.
I can't see the bottom right
All
because
right.
my big old head's in the way.
3413 for GoDaddy over the last 9 months.
Hold on, let me fix that. Oh, look at your head in the way. I mean, it's a lovely head, but... Ta-da! Better? But now they can't see the calculator. Well, that's okay. It says
better.
3015 down there, and that was the charge of $359.76, and then the refund of $359.76. Alrighty. Here we go.
Alrighty. All right. Whoops. There we go. All right. So there I added up 199, 199, and 3015 for 3413 for the last 9 months for GoDaddy. All right. Let me close the calculator. Alrighty. So next, let's take a look at Zoom. So Zoom is the video program I use to host the panel for movie night, and the basic plan allows for a decent amount of participants, but there's a time limit on the meetings. You can only host the meeting for about 30 to 45 minutes before having to start a new one. So this is the lowest plan on Zoom that I pay for, and that allows you to have unlimited time for your Zoom call, so you don't have to end it and start over, because obviously a time limit is not a great idea for movie night. So this is how much I pay every month for Zoom. That would be $14.99 a month. So let's pull up our nifty calculator again. And we have $14.99. And again, since we're only doing since January of this year, we'll go times 9 months is $134.91 over the last 9 months. All right. Next.
But there's more.
So next we have the G Suite payment. So the G Suite is it's the Google Suite, and Sai had registered with Google Suite as well as GoDaddy for a domain, and with that you pay monthly for the users that are on that G Suite account. His G Suite account has 2 users, so this here says G Suite Basic usage of 2 seats, $12, and I pay the $12 every month. And let's just take a look at who's sitting in those G Suite seats. We have SciStrike and Karis. Now, I've been continuing to pay for this, not because I do anything with this account. I don't. This account, it literally just sits there. It hosts Simple Science on YouTube. But Karis is on that account. And I was afraid if I canceled it, she would abruptly lose anything that maybe she had in her email or a Google Drive attached to it. And I didn't want that to happen. And since I've had no communication with her since Sai's passing, I haven't had a way to contact or communicate that with her. So that's that. Let's take a look at how much that cost me since January. So it's $12 a month times 9 months is $108 a month. All right. So those are the basics of the payments that I make every month, and the money coming in from SciStrike versus the money going out from SciStrike. So let's take a look, and let me make the calculator full screen now that we've done all that. We're gonna fit to screen. There we go. All right. So let's kind of get a round number here of how much every month I bring in from Science Strike Force. All right. So we had our total income from everything SciStrike related was $1288.30. Now let's subtract our payments out every month for it. We have 108 minus 134.91 and minus 34.13. Alrighty. So we're down to 1011.26. Now, I also have to take out income tax because at the end of the year, I will be required to pay income tax on this amount. So we take out 20% for income tax. That's $202.25. And that leaves us with $809,008 over the course of 9 months.
One error you just did in your math.
What?
The income tax is based on the 1288, not after you paid stuff out.
You're correct, yes.
So it would actually be less than this.
Correct.
So
hey,
let's
we'll
divide
round
it,
up.
shall we? Divided by 9 months. My monthly income from Science Strike Force after taxes and payments are made to anything to keep Science Strike Force alive is $89.88 a month. Now, am I living off of that? Absolutely not. Am I bringing in?
All right, so the rest of it I can kind of just talk about it. That's the end of the actual math portion and the screenshots and everything.
Well, let it play until you talk about the cable bill. Our actual internet access.
Well, I mean, I could talk about that or play it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
because it actually becomes very relevant to how much of a cash cow this is.
Yeah. All right, I'll play it some more.
Any money from my personal YouTube channel, Cy Strikeling? Absolutely not. At the same time, I still have to pay cable and electric to be able to run Science Strike Force and Movie Night. The cable bill for the internet is about $100 per month, and the electric is more than that.
So
but
it's
that's
actually
the
it's $99 a month.
It's $99 a month. You're making about $89 and we'll say 90 cents. We'll say $90 a month that you're getting from SciStrike.
Yep.
The whole kit and caboodle.
Yep.
It's costing you $99 a month. Is this a cash cow? I think Dell says it best when he says no, because we still lose $10 a month just to keep it
on
running.
The electric, on the cable rather.
That's not even counting electric. We're not even factoring electric in. We're just dealing with internet access to be able to do this. There goes your narrative.
Yeah, and seeing it, even if you want to say, well, you see it as a cash cow or you're trying to make a profit off of it, I'm not. You don't do YouTube to make a profit or to want to gain a profit. Like I said, I have a full-time job. That's what pays our bills. My full-time job and Sean's full-time job. It's not YouTube that pays my bills. I am not doing it because I can expect to make a lot of money off of it. No, I'm doing it because Cy wanted me to do this with him a long time ago. There was many times when he would ask me to come join him, and it was always, I was too busy with work. For the majority of 2019, I think it was. Yeah, 2019, sorry. For the majority of 2019, I was working 3 jobs. I was working about 80 hours a week from November of 2018 until roughly August, I believe, of 2019. So just about a year, I was working 3 jobs, 80 hours a week. And, that was my income. I've always had income. There wasn't a time when I didn't work. So the fact that, I'm trying to leech off of people for them to pay my bills is ridiculous. Also, there was something going around saying that all I do is sit on my ass all day and play video games. Also incorrect.
Oh, I was going to bring that up here in a bit.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, what got me involved today, this is the second time I've gone off on Signese for the crap that she's been spewing. This time it came about because, and I'm going to quote her here, this is something she put out yesterday at 11:21 p.m. Or no, it was 2 days ago now. She says, does everyone remember when Hufford ran his trap about me and Karis a while ago, and his pet vulture claimed she had no access to Cy's stuff? What if I told y'all I could prove that to be a lie? And then she gives a picture of the Science Strike Force general chat from Google Hangouts. Mm-hmm. Now, she's referring to my video that I called her out and Karis for a bunch of bullshit. And in that, you actually talked about Discord and how you no longer had access to that because your mother has Jeff's phone now, which uses 2-factor authentication. Mm-hmm. She's twisted that into saying that you said you didn't have access to anything and you were just lying about it. This is where I had to jump in because it's blatantly a lie. Mm-hmm. So I asked her for a timestamp and gave her the link to the video where you said that you had no access to any of SciStrike's stuff.
Yep.
She, of course, ignored that because she knew she was busted in a lie. And then Andy decided to jump in, and he misunderstood what the entire claim was. And he was actually proving my point without realizing it. Mm-hmm. Because you never said that you didn't have access to anything.
Correct.
The only thing that was said was that you lost access to Discord for Strike's account because you no longer had his cell phone.
Correct.
He never did get the picture on that one because he just wants to bash you as bad as she does.
Yeah.
And then she came up with the whole. I think it was Dick Dawson that said something on another tweet where, let's see, where is it? Oh, it's where she talks about your GoFundMe's that you did back in 2014 and actually re-promoted 2 other times.
Correct.
And at first she counted those as they were like separate ones, but they weren't. But he eventually basically gave up on Cy and East because at that point he finally seen that it had nothing to do with Jeff. It had nothing to do with Science Strike Force. It's literally just a hate boner that she has for you, and she's doing whatever she can to smear your name.
Correct.
Even he eventually got to see that.
Yes, absolutely. And, again, with Andy, he, claims that it's no longer a critique of me for derailing Science Strike Force. I'm sorry if anybody thinks that I've derailed Science Strike Force. That is never my intention. I haven't hijacked it. I haven't done anything manipulative. I haven't conned anybody out of anything. I've been very transparent about pretty much everything I've done as far as I know. If anybody would like to beg to differ, please let me know, because if I'm doing anything that's other than direct with you guys, I'm upset for myself. Now, it all comes back to this hate boner, and I don't really understand it. You don't have to like me. Nobody has to like me. Nobody has to follow me or subscribe to me or check out my content. Nobody has to watch Movie Night. But nothing nefarious is being done with Movie Night. I want everybody to be clear on that. There is no ulterior motive for Movie Night. I'm not doing it for the money. I've offered to take Movie Night off of Science Strike Force when it got a copyright strike because I was afraid that would all go away. All of Jeff's legacy would go away, his movie nights. If you get, 3 community guideline strikes or something, you lose the channel.
Well, the first one's a friendly warning, then you get the actual strikes.
Yeah.
And on the third one, your channel's gone.
Right. So I was able to eventually appeal it, and the thing went away. But that's all there is to it. I'm only continuing Science Strike Force to continue on Jeff's legacy, and what he would want, and what the people want. I know there was a lot of people that were excited to see Movie Night return, and everybody, as far as panel members go, are welcome to be on Movie Night. I don't exclude anybody. Andy has always been welcome. He's had an open invitation. Diana always has an open invitation. Anybody. Karis had an open invitation the entire time, but I've never spoken to her once. She never once attempted to talk to me about anything. And if people don't want to be on the panel anymore because it's not Jeff, that's completely fine and understandable. But we are moving forward with it, and it is what it is now. And that's all there ever can be from it. He's not coming back. So with that, like I said, there's been a lot more to this over the last year or so. Mostly just slander and targeted harassment. Certainly an obsession for sure. Multiple people have called out the obsession factor of it today. But it needs to end.
You know it's an obsession when you go on this hate campaign for a year and the other person hasn't responded to you at all.
Yeah. I haven't replied.
An obsession.
I haven't replied at all the entire time. Except for I think right in the beginning, the very first. Right.
And things got twisted to try to use against you. And I basically said, you just need to block them.
Yep.
Because you're not helping the situation by trying to defend yourself. They're going to find a way to twist it.
Correct.
So you stayed out of it for a year.
Yeah.
And she's still going.
Yeah. So yeah, it's something that needs to end here. If you have a problem with me, come talk to me. Don't do this. I'm going to post passive aggressive things about you on Twitter. I won't mention your name, but it's clearly about you, so that I have I can go back and say, oh, well, I didn't say it was specifically about you. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of very hurtful, hateful things being said. And the worst part about it is Psystrike would be mortified. He loved his girls. It was me, my mom, my sister, and then my niece. And if he knew half of the things that were being said or thrown around, he would be mortified. He's not proud of you for this. This is not some social justice campaign that you're going on, to save Science Strike Force. This is clearly a hate boner, and it needs to stop. If you have a problem, come talk to me. You can DM me. You know how to get in contact with me. Other than that, it needs to stop.
I don't know. I think I said a few things that would make her to not want to ever speak with you or me again today.
Possibly.
I reached my limit with her today, so she said something to JC or about JC about how she's not an adult. So I just had to remind her of something that she's not one either. So I threw the hypocrisy back in her face, and it got ugly.
Yeah. So I think that's about all I have for this live stream, at least. I'm sure more will come, not live streams, but more harassment and things like that. But yeah, it needs to end. It's been enough. Everybody else is getting tired of it. There's been, pleas from between Andy and Diana and Sai's sister, which is Sinese's mother, about please just knock it off. And really, that's all I'm saying. I can't help it if people don't like me, and I can't help it if I'm not living up to some people's expectations. I apologize, but I am doing the best I can. I don't know why he's barking. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's about all I have. I want to thank everybody for coming out. This is going to stay up. Funny you bring that up, Jed Cleaver. I did forget that part. So also, being seen in Unirock's live chats, bad-mouthing Red's rhetoric and Sean Hufford is probably not the best look for you either.
Especially when you then go on to Steve McRae's chat and do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then to save face to Jason's chat, you have to go on Twitter and says, "Oh, I'm completely neutral in the non-sec thing," so that way you can talk trash about people on both channels.
Correct, yeah. Try to get all buddy-buddy with people in one chat and then do the same in the other. So, yeah. That's about all I've got, and I hope that it sheds some light on everything. But yeah, that's about all I got. Sorry, Dick, I had to delete your message. I'm pretty sure you just accidentally posted the Meets link for the Shill show.
Yeah. I think so.
I think so too. I love you, Dick Dawson, but I'm pretty sure you just posted the Meets link for the Shill show. So, whoops.
I saw a Meets link there. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I closed. I just deleted that message. Nothing against Dick. It's not. He didn't get blocked. But yeah, that's all I've got, everybody. I appreciate everybody coming out. And hey, while you're here, please go check out the Shill Show. It starts in about 10 minutes or 12 minutes over on the iNetwork. They're a great bunch of people, and I love everybody in this community, and I couldn't continue to do what I'm doing without the help of you guys. The emotional support has really helped me get through this last year. So thank you, everybody. And I will see you all this coming Friday, for the 1 year later Remembering Sci Strike live stream. Thank you very much.
I was going to stream a game, but if the shows are going live, I'm not going to step on their toes. Have fun, guys.
They're always live every Saturday at 6:30. Every 6:30 at Saturday. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, and I will see y'all later.
Oh, link the Shill show for him.